So how do you outline a successful sales page? What are the essential parts you need to have to create a page that converts at 20, 30, 50%, or even higher? And where do we come up with the words for this page so that it goes on to generate tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars in sales? Today and in this video, I want to be walking you guys through a process that I've learned through the years of generating over $50 million of product sales online for how to outline and eventually write sales pages that convert like crazy. And I just want to say from the outset that a lot of the advice in this video will be very different than things that you might have heard elsewhere, because this is not templates, this is not formulas. I've tested those things and they get mediocre to average results at best. This is things that I've learned through the years of writing copy for clients, for writing copy for big businesses like drax.com, Remit Safety, Agora Financial, and testing it on my own offers. And so guys, this is stuff that I've actually tested and actually know works. And if you'll just hang in there, I know it's a little bit different than those templates and formulas type thing. I promise that it's going to really change the game for how you approach sales pages and the results that you get with the sales pages that you write. But before we get into that, I need you guys to hit that subscribe bell and also tap that like button, because that's how I know you guys are liking this content, you guys are enjoying it. Turns out, I was looking at my analytics the other day, 80% of you watching are not subscribed. What the heck is going on? That's my call to action in a video about sales pages. So we're going to get into 3 steps I use to outline sales pages that convert like crazy. So just hang in there and we'll get into it. So step number 1, know thy audience. Guys, there's an old trick that I learned from my first copywriting mentor, and he says, here is the way to spot a copywriting rookie. Give them a product to sell and tell them to go ahead and write the copy for it. And if you watch what happens next, you'll know whether or not this person is a veteran or they are a total noob. And what it is if they start writing immediately, you already know you're dealing with someone who has not written or at least not tested copy before. Because here's the thing, guys. One of the most important things that you can do as a copywriter, and one of the most essential parts to the results that you get, is to understand your audience. Because if you don't know who your audience is, you won't know what words resonate with them. So that was just a fun trick that he showed me for how you can kind of spot rookie copywriters, and it really stuck with me through the years, because when I first got started, I would just start writing, and I thought that because I knew templates, because I knew formulas and things of that nature, that I could uncover this, that I could sell my way out of a hole, and that's just not true. The biggest thing that you can do as a copywriter in doing your research on a sales page and deciding how to outline a sales page is to survey your audience. One of the things we've instituted with almost every client that we work with these days is the first thing we do is survey their audience, because that data is so critical to what you ultimately go on to write. Because if you just imagine, if you're trying to sell to some, bro who's been working out for years, you're not going to start out with like how to get grow your biceps. Like that type of offer is not going to convert for him. But if he's gotten to, 13-inch bicep and he's really looking to turn up the dial on some type of curl that he's doing. I don't know why I've chosen this, because I'm not familiar with the workout scene. But if you just imagine that example, you have to know what's going through his head before you can ever write copy to him. And so one of the things that I'll do is I'll link some example surveys that we do with our clients and beneath the video so that you guys can see an example of this. But step 1 is always to know your audience. And the things that you want to know are, when it comes to, for example, I recently launched a product related to copywriting. And this product was teaching people how to be a freelance copywriter. And for me and in my business today, one of the biggest things I'm thinking about is outsourcing and, cash flow and how to time these things up. So if I were just to, write about my current pain points, I'd end up writing something that, probably caters to a little bit more advanced audience. But when I went out and I surveyed my readers, one of the things that was most shocking, I said, when it comes to freelance copywriting, what's your number 1 challenge right now? And the biggest result by far was everyone said, getting clients. And, if you create this freelance product and you start to write copy for a product that is beyond that, starting to talk about advanced copywriting tips, or starting to talk about, what you do when you're trying to, turn one client into 2 and things of that nature. I put that stuff in the product because they were eventual selling points. But the number one thing everyone cared about was getting clients. So that steered me down a path for how to approach the copy for that product and what the copy that I eventually wrote. So it seems very basic and it seems almost redundant to have to say something like this. But the number one thing you can do, survey your audience. Ask them about their current challenges. So, if you want to take it one step further, another thing you can do is take this survey, people who filled out the survey, get on the phone with them, talk to them, and you'll start to imagine these people in your head before you even start to write the copy. Like, oh, is this going to resonate with, I have a few students that are on my list that I've talked to a lot, Royce, Joel, Amelia, these people, they come to mind. And so when I'm thinking about writing copy, I'm thinking about how are they going to respond to this? Will they like this idea? Will they like this? These types of things are critical. And it's something that so many people just breeze straight by. One last story, and then I'll move on to step 2, because I think you guys get the point here. Back when I worked at a health and wellness company called drax.com, we were actually in the process of launching a product on how to become a certified essential oil coach. And so I actually surveyed over 2,000 people. We sent it to over 200,000. I got data on 2,000 of them, and I started calling people on the phone. People in the office, they thought I was literally nuts. They were like, what is he doing? He spends his entire workday locked in a room calling, 50-plus-year-old women, just talking to them on the phone. And guys, I didn't care, because that product eventually generated over 7 figures in like 3 months. It did it almost in 2 weeks, I think. And it was because I was armed with that information and I understood the audience at a very deep level. So it's a fundamental step. So many people skip it. If you want to prove that you are more in the process of, better copywriter, show your clients, show your employers that you do this, because it's a step that most people miss. Get that fodder for, the next couple steps. So step 2 in the process of outlining and eventually creating an amazing sales page is offer creation. Guys, now that we understand our audience, one of the things that you can do is actually go in to shape your offer. And keep in mind, we're not thinking about a single word of copy. We're not thinking about the page layout yet. What we're doing is we're doing the fundamental things that actually matter. And so when I say offer creation, I mean, what is the core product that you're offering? What is the name of the product? And if you guys are working with clients, if you're working in companies, you can actually go in and rename products, because offer creation is something that just is totally, it's a missed skill among copywriters. And I'll tell a quick story about that. One of the things that we worked with a client who they sell a form of, it's an alternative to cookie butter. Cookie butter is a spread that you put on sandwiches and things of that nature. It's loaded with sugar. It is insanely rich. It's heavy. It's kept calorically dense, but a lot of people love it. And they made a healthy alternative to it. And it's delicious. I mean, it's incredible. And the problem with this product, though, is it's a consumable thing. It's like an impulse buy. I mean, how often are you going out there to buy, cookie butter? I mean, most of it, for me, I'd really never heard of it before. And so one of the things that we did with this client was, it was an amazing product. And we surveyed their audience. We got a good sense of what they were currently doing, why they were buying this product to begin with. We surveyed their customers, and we also surveyed just general readers. And we surveyed them to talk about, where are you struggling right now when it comes to fitness and things of that nature. And it turned out people didn't care about cookie butter. It turned out people really wanted an honest way and a way that was easy for them to, hit their macros and continue to lose weight in a way that they didn't wake up in the morning hungry and go to bed at night just like craving something sweet. And so we came up with the idea of not just selling a one-off product anymore, but we created an offer. And what we did is we said, what if we created the protein cookie butter challenge? And instead of this being, a consumable product that people buy once and then maybe they buy it never again, it was a 90-day challenge where you switch 2 meals or 2 snacks a day for a cookie butter approved alternative. And it included a 3-month supply of cookie butter. And guys, this was an incredible shift in their business. This product was currently priced around $19. We were able to drive up the average order value to over $170. And it converted higher because this was the protein cookie butter challenge that included 3 months supply of cookie butter and ebooks and things of that nature. So these were premiums that we added in. We helped them create these things, but they're digital, so it's free to create. So it didn't do anything. But instead of a $19 purchase, it's a $170 purchase. And guys, this makes a world of a difference when it comes to copywriting. We always do this. We audit the actual offer that we're going to be outlining and writing a sales page for, because ultimately that's what people are buying. It doesn't matter how good your headline is. It doesn't matter how good your guarantee copy is. At the end of the day, what people are buying is the offer. And so what you can do is you can use that survey data to feed into your offer creation. And ideally, your offer should be named in such a way that it addresses the core problems of the market that you got from your survey data. So, for example, another example would come in for my 30 days to 9K course. One of the things that, I'd seen in the past is that I saw that a lot of people, they had tried freelancing before, but nothing came out on the other side. So I was like, give me 30 days, specific timeline. And then what they really want was one client. So I didn't want to say 30 days to your first client. I wanted to give them a visual in their head. What is that promise? So I said 9K because I did that in a challenge on my friend Ryan Robinson's blog. But I made the promise, the 30 days to 9K, which is just giving them the visual of this client payday, which was the biggest problem. And that's the name of the course. And guys, that product converted really, really well. And so this is just a lost art in the game of copywriting. And if you are in the process of writing a sales page now or outlining a sales page now, it's very fundamental work, but go back in and look at your offer, because getting this right can allow you to reduce the friction on pages dramatically. For example, if you go to this product page, there's not a lot of copy there because the name is so strong and there's just a couple bullets and then there's a couple proof points, and that's really all it takes. Same thing with this product. We called it this, we showed them sample switches, then closed it out the page. It's not very hard when you go about it in this way, but got to spend time here. And now, once we have this information, we know our offer is pretty strong. You can actually validate this. Send this back to your survey people and ask them, say, hey, how does it sound to you? And guys, a lot of times they'll give you feedback. This product name came from a lot of years of research. I actually did this challenge on my friend Ryan Robinson's blog in 2018. I launched the product in November of 2019. So now, once we do this, I'll move into the final step, which is what you guys really want to see, which is how this all comes together. So step 3 in our process of outlining a successful sales page. Guys, it is, if you want to use the acronym, it's PPEO. And I'm probably one of the laziest people when it comes to this type of thing because I actually don't love writing long form copy. I particularly don't love writing long form copy on my first go at it. When I first write a sales page, I hate, spending 10 years or, 10 months on it and then sending it out and then it flops. So I prefer a leaner approach to the actual page outline and what goes on this page. And then we can beef it up over time. But in the beginning, you don't need these things because we're doing that fundamental work. So just keep that in mind. So this acronym, what it stands for is promise. And my handwriting is atrocious. Promise, proof, examples, objections. And guys, this exact formula is all it takes to write an insanely successful sales page. Let me explain what each one of these means, and then we'll wrap up here. So promise, that's pretty clear. What we want to do is we want to take the biggest promise that we can make in our marketing ethically, and then make that the lead. So this is, if you're thinking about the outline, this is going to be the headline. So for me, in our business, we've generated, multiple six figures in sales. And leading with that as a promise is going to flop. It doesn't resonate with anyone. If I called it 30 days to building a 6-figure freelance business, people would be like, insane, don't believe you, my gut doesn't trust it, it's unbelievable. So you have to check it against that. But in 2018, as I mentioned, I did a public experiment on my friend's blog where I actually made $9,000 in 30 days. And that's proven. So saying 30 days to 9K and making that the hook, 30 days to your first 9K, that is the biggest promise that I could make in a legitimate way that people can still believe. And that translates into insane results. So another example, I mentioned the, cookie butter company. For them, it was lose 7 pounds. Sorry, I am terrible at it. Lose 7 pounds in 30 days, or it's free. And guys, what we did was we basically just walked out through a process of losing 7 pounds of fat, and we showed them the caloric switches that they would benefit from. Lose 7 pounds in 30 days, or it's free. Or it's free, we're just backing it up with a guarantee. So it's very simple. So you want to lead with the promise that addresses the market's biggest concern in your hook. So the biggest promise you can make, what is that? So there's so many different product examples out there. I know one time we had I was working on a product launch for a cryptocurrency product. And so in our research, we actually found a coin, a cryptocurrency coin, that was estimated to go up by 44,000%, which sounds insane. There's an extra zero there. But that was our hook. We had research showing that you could make 44,000%. So that turns $500 into, I don't remember what it was, but it was like 1.2 million or something. And it's the biggest promise that we could legally make that still was backed in some level of research. So, what's the promise? And this, guys, in the make money space, we knew that this is what people wanted. They wanted to turn a small amount of money into a big amount of money. So that's that. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what the promise is. Next step, proof. We can't just make these claims and get away with it. And not even just get away with it. We want to do it in a way that our audience is like, holy crap. So what can we do to show proof of the promise? And that's the next portion of the sales page. So you might say, for example, 30 days to your first 9K. It's a freelance writing challenge to show you how to get your first clients, write copy, do the blah, blah, blah. Now, how do we prove it? We prove I did it in 2018. I show examples of our agency. I show examples of people who've used what I show people to make money. So these are all proof elements. And so all you have to do is walk through the copy around these things. So you might say, your lead might be, in 2018, I did a public challenge on my friend's blog and made that amount of income in just 30 days. And truthfully, the system wasn't dialed in, so I decided to test it on a few people. And here's what they got as results. It's screenshot. Guys, that's that simple. For example, in the example with the cryptocurrency coin, we had led to turn a small stake of $500 into 1.2 million. How do we prove it? We talk about our guru, which his name is Tom. We talk about his track record. We say, hey, Tom has done this and this and this and this in the past. And so we just show proof that our claim is valid. So when we know that our claim is valid, we come in and we show examples. So we're through the proof point of our promise, and all we want to do is show additional examples of this. I kind of jumped ahead of myself on this one a little bit, but like you might show an example trade where he recommended this and it went up by that, and another one where he recommended this and went up by that, and just kind of walk through that type of thing. So we've got our proof, we've got our examples, and then guys, this is the last thing, and this is really the crux of writing good sales copy. And this is a process that I actually learned from Agora and the branch that I worked with. One of the things we would do is we would actually brainstorm all the potential objections that people would have to a product. So for example, you might say something like, I don't have enough time to go through this challenge. And so what you do is you just take a giant list of all the objections someone might have. I don't have enough time to go through this challenge. It seems expensive. I don't trust you. All these types of things. And you turn those things into selling points. And so you turn the objection into a sales point. So for example, if they didn't have enough time to go through the challenge, you say, it's designed to be a 30-day sprint, and you can do it in only 1 to 2 hours a week. And that's your headline. And so that's your copy. And then we move into the next objection. So it might say, I don't trust you. And you say, well, who am I? Why would you even listen to me? I'm Robert Allen. I've been around for 5+ years in the copywriting space. I've worked for legitimate company 1, legitimate company 2, and I have $50 million in sales as a result of that. And guys, you just do that. Sometimes I'll just brainstorm like 10 objections, and you're basically done, because in the objections you might say, well, what if I go through the course and I want my money back? That's when you say, do it risk-free with our stress-free guarantee. And guys, this copy basically writes itself, because you just brainstorm a list of all the potential objections why someone would not buy based on this promise with this proof and these examples, and you're done. Go and guys, the big reason that I say that it's that simple is because you can go to example sales pages that I've written, some of the products that I have. You can study them if you want. I don't write tons of copy, and some of those pages convert at 50%. I'm not joking, because we go in the right order. We go from audience to offer to then copy. That is the order that you want to go in. You go from these two things matter so much more than this. But this structure will result in so many great things for you and your business. So I will link a couple examples of this down below that you guys can see, sales pages that kind of follow this basic formula. I recently did this exact process end to end in a new product that I launched called Weekly Email Income Secrets. Not a pitch for it. Chances are if you're seeing this video, it's probably not the best fit for you. But what I did was I had been talking to my readers for weeks and weeks and weeks, and customers for months and months and months. And they told me, they said, Rob, one of the biggest things we want to see from you is this, this, and this. And we would love you to just send that to us on a daily basis and create more content. So I'm getting this feedback from my audience over and over again. So I didn't even have to survey them. Then I was like, okay, well, let me create this offer. So I came up with the offer, and I called it Weekly Email Income Secrets. And I just basically put in the offer exactly what people said they were wanting from me. They wanted, to grow their income. So that's in the name of the product, Weekly Email Income Secrets. Then from there, I put bullets of what people said they wanted. And then I sent it to my customers and said, hey, you guys want to buy this? And my customers joined right away. It was insane. People bought very, very quickly. So then I was like, oh, well, I have to actually turn this into a sales page. So then basically you'll see there's just a promise. And so I say the promise on that product is you'll get, explosive income opportunities every Monday at 2 p.m. in your inbox. The proof on that page is very simple. I show them an example email that I've written. And so that's the proof of it. So I show them the type of emails. I show them examples of what people have done with the emails. And then I spend a few minutes just on objections, about, things related to price. And that's really it. So it's really, if you follow this process, you will end up with sales pages that don't look like the ones that you see people bragging about online, but these pages work. I've seen it work for over $50 million in product sales. And if you put it to work, I know it will for you. So hopefully you guys like this video. Hope you guys like this type of content. I know I really enjoy creating it. So if you don't mind, hit that like button, hit the subscribe bell. I really want to see you guys subscribe to the channel because I'm planning to do even more videos. I'm just getting settled into my new apartment here, and March was a whirlwind, but April, really trying to ramp up the content production for you guys. So let me know what you want to see next.